So we are in Midland, Michigan right now, which is my old hometown. And I'm actually surprised how often people don't know my story or my testimony, and they find out about just how crazy my life was. And so I'm with my son right now and just kind of talking about the faithfulness of God, but I want to show you guys something. So this house right here, 709 Pine, right here, 709. This house right here represents the darkest season, darkest time of my life. I was 17 years old or 18 years old. I had moved out. Me and this guy were living in this house together. And that was the darkest time of my life. We were selling dope. We were selling cocaine. We were selling weed. At that time of my life, I was a serious drug addict at that point in my life, binging for days on pills and heroin and different things. But it was when I was living in that house back there that you just saw, where I actually got sick and got the flu. And I went back to my parents' house for something. And on that day that I went back to their house, the police came and showed up at my door and said, "You're under arrest for delivering and manufacturing." And I got set up in a drug bust here in my town. I had been selling to an undercover cop. And that drug bust and that arrest led me on a journey to fast forward after time behind bars. By a miracle from the Lord, I get court ordered to go to a spirit-filled Christian program in Traverse City, Michigan called Abba's House. And when I was in Abba's House, I got introduced to Holy Spirit. I got introduced to the International House of Prayer. And they actually, 4 months into the program, November 11th, 2008, I got radically saved. And a month later, they took us to the One Thing Conference. And Mike Bickle gave the call that God was going to raise up 10,000 John the Baptists that would give their whole life to fasting and prayer and preparing the earth for Jesus. And I responded to that call. And here we are. That was in 2008. And here we are in 2021, still doing it, still sovereignly marked. But just being down here brings back so many memories. Our life is so transformed and so redeemed that honestly, when I look at this house, like here, check this out. They're not gonna be able to see this on the video, Nim, but keep recording, Nehemiah. Do you see how that fence back there behind the trash cans is boarded up in that one spot?
Yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
I'm the one who put that hole in that fence. I was really into snowboarding, and one time we built a ramp to go up and stall on the fence, and I busted through the fence. But it was right here. It was in this house where I hit probably the darkest time of my life, just giving my whole life to drugs. And I remember right up here on this street over here, just point the camera this way, right down here on Hines Street, which is the next street up, there was a lady, a heroin addict that we used to do partnership with. She actually died of a heroin overdose a few years ago. And it's just crazy to think that we were involved in such levels of darkness and chaos. But I'm a testimony that there is no heart too far. No one's too far from God. And here we are today. So I want to invite you guys in on a little bit of that story. God is so kind.